Good morning. We are day 125 of 365 days of morning routines and rituals with me, Karla Maree. A little bit of a slow start. I started to record and then my phone storage was so full it wouldn't record anymore. So I've just had to go through my phone, delete a whole bunch of stuff. So hopefully we can get this recording out. Content creator problems, right? Too many videos and things in my phone and not enough storage for it, but that's okay. So, hey Google, what is today's date? Let's start with our Luminous Humanist book.
The 29th of May 2026.
It's Friday. All right. Drenched in a dream. Life can be difficult or easy, clunky or elegant. It is up to you. From the perspective of manifesting, you can develop the muscle to push gigantic boulders up a hill and force your way into situations where you were clearly not invited. On the other hand, you can awaken in the morning, drenched in a dream, coded in higher awareness, forfeited with guidance that lets you know where to go, who to talk to, and when to turn left or right, and when to stay put. When you proceed throughout your day following the stream of your dream, you bypass the unnecessary egoic suffering and strife, finding yourself seemingly in by accident. Where you most want to be, joyfully, effortlessly, and magically enjoying your beautiful life. Affirmation: in the stream of my dream, I find myself in a consistent state of grace. I mentioned this yesterday. I was at a colouring in club with a beautiful bunch of women yesterday to regulate my own nervous system after a crazy day of being a support worker. And I got conversating in those spaces, and this conversation around how we communicate with self came up. And it was just the way some people speak to themselves, like, fuck, I'm an idiot. Fuck, I'm such a dumbass. Or whatever the story is, right? Because we all do it. We are human beings. But I did say to her, you need to give yourself more grace, my friend. Like, why are you being so hard on yourself? And she knew, like, she goes, well, I don't know. I don't know any better. I'm like, exactly. So why are you making yourself feel more worse about it than you need to feel? The mind, right? It creates our suffering when we allow the story to play out. It is really important that we learn to work out where the story comes from. This is a big part of why we teach about false beliefs in the first week of learning self-love, because the false beliefs are a huge part of who you are as a human being. And understanding and learning where your beliefs and programming comes from is the most important part of being a human being, because we aren't taught, we aren't shown the correct tools, so we only know what we know. You can't tell someone else otherwise. If they don't know it, they don't know it. And this is the kind of energy we all kind of currently are sitting in when it comes to the world in many different levels and scales, right? We all are seeking this same outcome in some weird way. Yet we all have our own version or our own story or perception of how we think that should look. But the end result is going to be the same, isn't it? So it shouldn't matter how you get there. Just some thoughts. Be gentler with yourself when you're going through it, because you don't know any better. Your mind doesn't know what is right or wrong in that space. It's just going off what it is familiar with, and that is okay. It's just some little food for thought there. We all should be kinder to our minds and ourselves when we're moving through it, because we really didn't know any better. I think this is why I personally enjoy releasing different things, because it allows me to sit into this state of appreciation for where I was, but I can also forgive myself for not speaking or moving or doing or being anything other than what I was in those moments. Because sometimes that's what eats at us. It's because we didn't speak. we didn't, action. And then we sit in this resentment, which is not normally towards someone else, it's usually towards ourselves. And then we feel shameful for that feeling, and then it creates layers, right? It's a bit of a thing. But it's up to us to understand and unravel what the mind is showing us. Unfortunately, we're just not ever been taught that that is what we should be doing or is a safe thing to do, right? Because I can guarantee you there'll be a few of you on here that struggle even with writing because your parents or partners may have read your diaries or your books and things as you were growing up. And so it's not a private thing for you anymore. And so we hold that even closer to ourselves. All normal parts of being a human being. The humanness, huh? It makes me very grateful for the unraveling and the learning that we move through, right? And it makes me very grateful that I get to feel it in the ways that I do. So that way I can help others move through it because I can feel it for them, right? It's a blessing. It is a blessing. I was reading on my human design last night. A lady I met yesterday gave me a really cool app called Align Human Design. And I was just going through some of the parts of myself. And as someone who feels things the way that I do, I also have a non-emotional lens at this so I can help others. So when someone walks into a room and they're feeling a 2 out of 10 depression, they're not depressed, but they're in their feels, right? And they're feeling about a 2 out of 10, like it could be a way worse. But when I step into those spaces, I feel that person at a 6. So that just shows you how heightened my intuition is with feeling things. And I found that really fascinating. But it is why I can't also let things go, because I'm feeling it so intently. I'm feeling it 50 times more than the actual person is feeling it, which is pretty wild to think, right? But it's so I can help them move through the overwhelm and unravel those little pieces of who they are. It's pretty awesome stuff, actually. If you have the app, let me know. I'd love to see what you are and how you work and all of those weird and wonderful things. All the fun stuff, right? I love getting to know who I am on a soul core level. It's pretty awesome. Just adds more layers to the puzzle, right? Or gives you more pieces to the puzzle, I should say, not more layers, because we're unraveling the layers by learning these little moments and things. Okay, my intention is to have a really cruisy day of shopping and housework and just taking it easy. And I have the intention to really sit down at some point today and write, to get more of my chapter moving. We're getting into the last parts of our story writing with Sally Newman, and I've got lots to still put on paper, so that's my intention today. I hope whatever it is that you are doing today on this wonderful Friday, that it keeps you happy, safe and well, and you are able to move forward freely and confidently into alignment with your heart and your higher self today. And I hope you are able to put yourself in that beautiful bubble of white light energy so that way you can move forward freely and confidently into alignment with self. Because you are so totally worth it. I hope you have the most wondrous day, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you are safe, well and happy. Have a joyful day. Bye.